seen the push to 10K. One of the best parts about the price movement is that it has been pretty organic. Honestly, I'm not surprised that this has happened. We've been talking about it for a while. The halvening coming up, you have a lot of hype. The price movement is that it has been pretty organic. One of the best parts also is that most of the people that are doing the predictions and the YouTubers like ourselves, we're seasoned veterans. So good to see those price movements here. Let's take a look. I have to pull that up. And today, Bitcoin is at $9,940.81. Ethereum coming in at $215.01. Ripple is at 22 cents. And Bitcoin Cash coming in at $262.71. Across the board, seeing green. Glad to see it. It's been a while, and a lot of people who have held on. Congrats to you.
Yep. And right next to the price, as you can see here, top story of the day, the Bitcoin halvening. You can see here right now, we are 3 days, 2 hours, 4 minutes, and 50 seconds out. Crazy. I mean, a lot happening again. The price or the amount of Bitcoin you can mine goes from 12.5 to 6.25 every 30 minutes. We're going to be seeing that in 3 days right now. And again, that's also our top story of the day. As you can see here, Google searches for Bitcoin halvening skyrockets to unprecedented numbers. Bitcoin Zay, what is the word with this?
Yes. So most of the time, whenever Google searches go crazy, we have an increase in price, or vice versa. Whenever we start having an increase in price, we see a lot of Google searches. That is just the way it is. And once again, I want to remind people that FOMO is not something that you want to do right now, even though it is an exciting time. If you were not in at a certain price, you don't want to FOMO at the time right now. But a lot of the searches are showing that Bitcoin is a safe haven asset. It's the best performing asset of the year. I mean, we've been talking about it so long now, it's not surprising. But for some of the people who are not aware, that is what it is. Bitcoin is the best performing asset this year and also of the last 10 years. So good to see.
So kind of go back to that statement you just said. You're telling people to not FOMO buy into it right now at the $10,000 mark.
Well, I'm telling people that buying it at any point is good, but you should have a strategy. So if your dollar cost averaging, fine. But if you're just looking at it and all of a sudden you saw a news article that says, "Oh, Bitcoin's at 10K," let me rush in and buy as much as possible. That could be fine. It could not be. I just don't want to encourage people to do it just because of news. This should be, at this point, this should be something that you're doing as an investment or as a philosophy or lifestyle at a certain point. Novelty.
And you have to remember, folks, if a lot of people are ready to sell the news. So the halvening does happen within a few days. We get a good price spike. It's going to be people dumping to say, "Hey, I'm good. I'm ready to get out." You got to remember, a lot of people started this scary ride anywhere from 14K to 20K. So if that thing hits 14 or 15K again, you might think we're going straight up, which eventually we will. But in the short term, you might see a price dump because people are like, "Hey, I got my money back, or I got just a little bit more, or whatever. I'm good with this game right now." I'm sure we'll see some of those people as well this year.
Oh yeah, definitely. And I mean, we've been in this quarantine, and everybody has basically seen Bitcoin grow even in the middle of a pandemic. Like, how much more bullish can you be, especially when everything else has been dying slowly, and the stock market we know is propped up with printing money. Bitcoin, it doesn't need that. So.
And as it says here, the previous halvening, which we looked at, which decreased the block reward from 25 Bitcoin to 12.5, happened on July 9th, 2016. So the good thing is it's still buy-up time, because around July of 2016, the price of Bitcoin was still $300 or $400 bucks. And it took until January of 2017 for it to hit 1,000. And then by July of 2017, that's when you started to see the 8,000, or was it about the $5,000 to $7,000 price points on it. So if that's the case, and we see that here, the halvening, we're at $10,000, $12,000. We might continue that slow pace, that slow growth until we get to 15 or 17. And then the next skyrocket, maybe sometime next on this same time, summertime, we'll see it happen. But as the case may be, this may be the lowest we see Bitcoin, of course, barring government interference. I have to continuously say that these days, because who knows what bone they're going to throw, right?
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, I think we'll see the big push in Q4. Only because right now we're seeing a good push. But like you said, in 2017, we saw it early in the year, and then it was sideways for a while, and then Q4 went crazy. I think we're starting to see something similar. And then the halvening, the reason it may be a little different this time is because of the economic differences. we're in the middle of the first recession depression ever in
The
Bitcoin's
first
history.
Black Swan event.
First
You keep
Black
talking
Swan,
about.
or as somebody kind of corrected me one time, a white swan. I was told that a black
It is
swan is
White
something
Swan, actually.
that you don't
I can tell
expect,
you what, there
and the
aren't any
white
Black
swan,
Swans making
we
this happen.
expected it. You could kind of, hey, this is kind of something that could have happened. I mean, so yeah, I mean, at the same time, yeah, we've never seen this before. This is unprecedented. And as I've heard from a few different people, the markets are weird right now. I've heard that from like top people. So
Well,
it should be interesting.
to be fair, we saw Bitcoin price when the coronavirus started. Bitcoin price went as low as 3,300, right? And we've
Yeah.
seen this bounce back almost to 10K, literally within 3 to 4 weeks. One thing people also need to remember too is this stimulus money is also what's propping it up, just like it's doing the regular market. So, people are getting those $1,200 checks. If you're living in California, I mean, for some people, they're literally making $4,400 a month not to work. So
Yeah.
there's people with a lot more spending change than they've ever had before. I mean, I'm literally talking to people in California who are just like, man, I'm making more money sitting at home than I ever have going to work before. So that is the new money people are talking about. You've had 4 to 6 weeks of free time being quarantined at home, and you're getting free money from the government. So that may be a reason that price point is being propped. Now, I'm
Life is
saying that
good.
because it could be fake volume. It could be a fake price point because right now, while we're getting the free money, we've only been a month and a half into this quarantine. A lot of people think the coronavirus is going to end. Of course, remember when we had John McAfee on, he kind of called this stuff. If it does go longer, I think we may initially see another price slip. If the traditional market gets another big hit, I think we will see crypto price actually slip because all that money people just put in, they're going to pull right back out if this thing keeps going. Now, I think if we can go back to work in the next month or two, that price will be sustained. And with that new money people get from work, they'll continue to prop it up. And that's when we'll see the explosion. So
Absolutely. And I want to say on that, as far as the price thing, you always buy the hype, sell the news. So if the price is pumping right now, I can guarantee you once the halvening happens, you might see that smackdown in the middle of next week, right after the halvening.
Go
And
down
then you'll
a
see
quick 6K, quick 5K shake.
Yeah, exactly. A quick shakeout where people are like, "Oh my God, I put everything into it. What am I doing?" And then, of course, you see it go sideways and then continue in the quarter four, like I said, where I think it'll actually do what it may hit 30K, as some people are saying. But that is, contingent on a lot of things because
I was waiting to say that's the craziest thing about this whole situation. It's like people. Here's the thing, like, and we talked about this before we went offline for a while. The government knows about crypto. You remember they're about to get those stimulus checks back in a digital dollar. They already had the wallet set up, they had the plan set up, and they went against it at the last minute, but they had it set up, which means they know the power of crypto right now. They know about the happening, and they know they're hanging on to threads. So again, that's why I always say government intervention, because on the flip side, which would be just as crazy, is if it is left untouched and it does grow organically, we could literally see it 30K in like 10 to 15 days from now, and it wouldn't be a surprise. Or we can see it at 6K or 3K, and it wouldn't be a surprise. So that's the crazy thing. It can be at either extreme, and it would not be a surprise at this point. It's crazy.
Yeah, crazy, man.
Some quick shout outs. So yes, just give everybody another heads up. If you just joined, we do have a 20-second delay. We're using Zoom to stream. For those who saw that funny meme, it was like the year 2069. Kids are going to be saying, "Okay, Zoomers." It's official. We're using Zoom to do our YouTube as well. But of course, we have to give our shout outs. First and foremost, I want to say shout out to P-Man Van and Antonio from the UK. They both hit us up the last couple of weeks. Like, hey, yeah, you guys need to get back to streaming. So you had a break. So here we are. Thanks, P-Man Van Antonio. What's going on, Madam Crypto, Will 45, The Game I Peep, Mr. Window Washer Man, Tommy Brown. Who else we have? Crypto and Culture, Donald Muhammad, Captain James T. Crypto said, Peter's ship is quiet as a mouse right now. What happened to the FUD? PFC Wells said, Corona ain't get you all. Thank goodness. Hey, same to all you warriors. And no, Donald, no. You did an interview with Crypto Blood, right? How did it go?
Yeah, it went great. We discussed a few different things in the crypto industry. Of course, Blood is always a great interview as far as subject matters and as far as crypto wise. So yeah, had a good time, discussed the book. And of course, the happening coming up. That's what most people are talking about. Of course, a little bit of news. So all good. Check that out on his channel. And we'll have more definitely with Crypto Blood in the future.
Yeah, we'll get him on here. Yeah, Donald Muhammad said I wasn't invited to that one, Donald. Don't tell me I didn't show up now. No,
Yeah,
no, we'll have Crypto Blood back on here as well soon. Crypto Blood has always said, he's always said he makes time for us whenever to come on our show as well. So as we get back rolling, we'll get him on here as well. What's going on, Cozy Josie? Hello, hello, hello. All right, next top story of the day. A little bit outside of the traditional price stories, but just as important and hilarious. Looks like Bitmain is back in the news again. Hold on, let me see if I can bring this up. Again, I'm using Zoom, so I'm kind of new with this. Boom. Bitmain exec reportedly arrested after street brawl with co-founder. Let me say that one more time. Bitmain executive reportedly arrested after a street brawl with co-founder. We've been talking about this forever. All this yip yapping and stuff in the industry. It's time to pull up. What is going on with this Bitmain power struggle, as this article so eloquently puts it?
Hey, sometimes you just gotta beat somebody up, man. I understand. Had to do that myself out here.
I don't know. I knew he was about to go there. Look, I don't know nothing about what you're talking about. I don't know anything about negative energy or violence, kind sir.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Try to keep the negative energy away, but sometimes you just gotta beat some people up. But Bitmain,
I need to get punched.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of animosity at Bitmain right now. Their chief financial officer and supposed legal representative, Lu Yao Lu, he was arrested after allegedly partaking in a mob attack on the company's.
Wait, a mob? A mob? Did you say a mob?
He got jumped. The co-founder of McCree Zan in Beijing got jumped, apparently by Lu and his crew. He was taken away by police, and he was robbed of a business license for Bitmain Beijing, which is their main subsidiary. And for those of you who know Bitmain, it is one of the biggest, if not the biggest, I think, mining facility in the world for Bitcoin. So I think after the power struggle with Jahan Wu, which we discussed before, and then we started to see a lot of them turning on each other, saying, this dude is doing that, that person they're trying to do that. Basically, fisticuffs were brought out because after a while, it's time to stop talking. I don't do much talking myself. If somebody got to get beat up, it happens. So I understand if it has to. At this point, that's what it looks like. But after he was arrested, they did find out later that he was supposedly hassled by a group of masked men at the Beijing Municipal Administration of Industry and Commerce.
Were they masked men, or were they being coronavirus safe and wearing their masks? It's different now.
Who knows now? I mean, who cares? I mean, I've seen a lot of grandparents gangbanging with their masks. They don't even realize it. So people are just wearing masks. So it could be masked men, or it could be a group of masked men. Either way, somebody got jumped, and it looks like Bitmain is having some legal issues along with physical issues. So.
And this quote here is crazy. It says, in the morning, McCree was at the Industry and Commerce Bureau of Beijing office. So he's at a government office, people.
Yeah.
A government office to get his Beijing Bitmain core license, which he is, I'm thinking about Marine, I said core, which he is the legal representative of. Lu and 10 others literally robbed him right on the spot, Wan tweeted earlier. They also, I guess, attached a video clip showing a run-in between the two groups, as you said, of the men wearing the sweatsuits and masks. This is crazy, people. And as funny as it is, the reason why we're talking about, of course, is the fundamental analysis behind it, which we'll get to after we keep talking about this a little bit more. Because, again, you got to understand, these are billionaires, people. Yeah. These are billionaires pulling up on other billionaires on the spot. Like, I just love that part of it, especially now that the TV show Billions is back out. They love to talk about crypto. They mentioned it in the first episode. Actually, they're like going after crypto in this season, right? Have you seen this season?
Oh, yeah.
Right. So they're going after crypto.
Yeah, the very first show. Yeah.
But this is, I mean, as far as the fundamental part, people, why this actually matters so seriously. If you remember, Bitmain is, owns one of the largest mining farms, mining pools out there. They have the ASIC miners, which allows you to mine Bitcoin at a more efficient and effective rate than other miners out there. Of course, you're allowed to buy those, but they only ship them to one per household. And of course, the last batch that people bought back in March, they were told they wouldn't even receive until May 11th or 12th, which is after the halvening, which we're about to see right now. They basically was like, you're not going to get them to after halvening. This is that company. So you're talking about billions of dollars in internal power struggle about who is going to lead the way of that company. Now, this has been ongoing for the last year or so, 2 years, who knows how long. But this has big implications. I mean, depending on who takes over this company, you might get a new CEO or a new founder or co-founder, whoever, who's like, no, let people buy as many miners as they want. That overnight changes the mining game, right? or they can say, no, we're just going to stop selling them to the public in general, or we're just going to do this with mining pools. So whoever is in charge of this company, it does have high stakes and high repercussions for the crypto industry as a whole.
Yeah. When people start getting beat up physically, that's when it's like, all right, I don't even care about going to court about this. So yeah, it's getting crazy at Bitmain.
Right. It's definitely getting crazy. I mean, a mob attack. This is hilarious. Who would have thought, right?
Crypto gets crazy and crazy. People getting jumped. Oh man.
I mean, could you really imagine that? Like, what's the day? Today's Friday morning. I'm about to go on down to the office, get these little licenses and stuff. I'll be home by lunch or whatever. And then just 10 people pull up on you and take your business license out your hand and give you a swirly in the bathroom.
Yeah, exactly. Oh man, this is crazy. Hey, it's a crazy industry. We've said that before.
And people, and that's why to be serious about this too. This is what you're seeing in the news, right? So only imagine what goes on behind closed doors, not just with Bitmain, but with every other billion-dollar company or government out there. This is why we always say these aren't conspiracy theories that we're just making up and pulling out thin air. We're talking about being at the precipice of a possibly multi-trillion-dollar market. It might actually make human beings trillionaires from this market. Like, there is foul play going on at every level we've seen so far. And to me, this coming out publicly is just publicly finally showing people that no, there isn't lies and stories and conspiracies. There is real foul play going on behind closed doors because people are in a rush to get their hands on the bag of money. So crazy to see this happening here. All right, last and certainly not least, Bixin unveils $65 million Bitcoin denominated fund to get more Bitcoin. That's right. Bixin Global, a Hong Kong-based cryptocurrency fund, launched a fund of funds with 6,600 Bitcoin worth over $65 million to increase its Bitcoin holdings. Bitcoin Zay, what is going on here? Today was the first day I even heard of Bixin Global.
Yeah, so I have not heard of Bixin Global myself. However, this news comes out from Hong Kong, where we all know that news is very well hidden in China. It says here that according to their announcement, Bixin launched the fund to invest in cryptocurrency funds globally. The FOS is BTC denominated, and the main goal is to increase its Bitcoin holdings, looking like they will invest in mining. Their mining facilities reportedly use about 300 megawatts of electricity, 3,000 petahashes of computing power, which is about 2.5% of the entire network's hash rate. So if you want to know how good China is at hiding the companies that hash, we're on the news every day, and neither one of us have ever heard of Bixin. They got 2.5 of the whole hash rate. So that just goes to show you there are some big mining companies making big moves. They are investing this money to increase their mining facilities, and overall, this is great for the industry because I'm sure others will follow suit.
Yeah, this is it's cool seeing. I mean, I consistently see people still talking about mining. So it is alive and well. I know a lot of people are worried about what will happen to the hash rate after the halvening. Will miners be able to afford to mine? I know those are a lot of questions that's swirling around, but I think we're getting to that point, as you can see here, when you're building things with $65 million initial startups. I mean, the competition is steadily increasing. So that's one of the things where we always want to make this like, hey, anybody can get involved. But this is also good news. This is going to bring the institutional investors around when they start seeing funds of funds, as they call it, this large. So this is a pretty cool story to see.
Yeah, absolutely.
And in general, you know, just talking about coronavirus and everything, in the Bitcoin market as a whole, if you notice, people, from the last few times we were on, about 6 weeks ago almost till now, not a lot's changed. That's what we always say. Like, hey, we're not gonna miss out on nothing for you. We're gonna be here. And we left when the price was anywhere from what, 6,000 or something to 9,000, bouncing up and down. We come back, the price is still 9,000 some change. That's literally 6 weeks later. I mean, within that 6 or 7 weeks, we saw the price go down as low as 3,300 and back up to like 9,800, right? Yeah. So again, it's crazy, but literally the day we're talking is right back where we left it. Not much has changed. And as we said on those previous episodes, we're still waiting to see what happens when it gets to that 11 to 12K mark, because that is when a lot could change from a percentage growth wise, when it's a lower percentage for the price in dollars to actually grow. So again, I still can't wait to see what's going to happen when it hits that 12,800 range, because I think that's when we start to get in that blinking meter of it just going up and up and up again.
Yeah. And if we don't, like I said, there's some outside forces that may mess with it. But as you can see, Bitcoin holding on strong with all of this going on. there's nothing that could kill it at this point. So just dollar cost average if you got it, and keep pushing.
Right. A few more shout outs. Somo Vid, missed you too. What's going on? Captain T, James Crypto's laughing. What's going on, Moni Love? Cornelius Broadnex. Hello, hello, hello. Let's see. P-Man Vance said would love to see an award. Billionaire fight, no blood involved. Right, yeah, no face shots. All right, everybody still got to do media in the morning. Let's just do like chest shots or something. I don't know. Hold him, dodgeball. It's like a Charlie Murphy and Eddie Murphy. Hold him down and beat his legs.
Exactly.
What's going on, G Graham? Cryptonomics. Or Ryan Cooper said Hong Kong, land of Neo. I was just telling someone that Neo and Ant share story the other day, man. It still stings the same as it did back in 2017.
Hell of scammers.
Ryan Cooper said nothing changed but the toilet bowl of water.
Yeah, Bitcoin's been pretty steady, and steadily going up.
Captain James C. Crypto, we got to ask Bitcoin Zay. He said, what about the strippers? They're hurting right now financially, question mark.
Yeah, well, that's what OnlyFans is for.
Oh, I'm done with you right now. Okay, so anyway, I'm glad to see he ain't changed, right? Folks, that is our show for today. Again, not a lot of crypto news. We'll continue to keep our eye on it. If we do see something pertinent, you know we're going to jump on live. As the corona scare continues to go on, we'll figure out ways to continue streaming. Next week, we'll probably do a couple streams. We won't be going back to the day-to-day until we see a lot of movement leading up into the halvening. We more likely will. So we'll definitely stream on Monday and Tuesday to talk about that halvening. But unless we see some crazy price movement, we probably won't stream again until middle of May once everything is open again. We'll see how that happens. So
yeah, absolutely.
We'll definitely check it out. Star Trek Admiral, shout out to you. It's all good. Showed up at the end, but at least you showed up. We appreciate it. Other than that, Bitcoin Zay, you got anything?
That's all for me. Appreciate y'all for coming. Can't wait to celebrate the halvening in a few days. You all
right. What we gonna do? Do I need to have a bottle ready?
Yeah, I need to have a champagne bottle and pop that.
All right, we'll have some champagne bottle. What is it going on? 3 days? Is it Tuesday or Monday? You know I'm dead, man.
The 11th. It might
Monday
be
night, Tuesday morning.
Yeah, Tuesday morning, I think. So we'll see.
All right, sounds good. Other than that, folks, as always, thanks for watching and your continued support. And continue to have a great week, great weekend, and stay healthy. Wear those masks, cover your mouth, and wash your hands.
Cheers.
Cheers.